Governor Baker's March 12, 2020 order suspending certain provisions of the open meeting law, general laws, chapter 30A, section 18, and the governor's March 15, 2020 order imposing strict limitations on the number of people that may gather in one place. This meeting of the Sturbridge Finance Committee will be conducted via remote participation to the greatest extent possible. Specific information in the general guidelines for remote participation can be found on the town's website at https://www.sturbridge.gov, town administrator, pages, and how to access virtual meeting. For this meeting, members of the public who wish to listen and or watch the meeting either online via the town's on-demand video broadcast, on cable television on channel 191, or dial into the meeting at 774-304-1455, entering 1428# for the meeting number and 12345 for the access code. This phone number is only active during the public meeting. No in-person attendance of members of the public will be permitted, but every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings in real time via technological means. In the event that we're unable to do so, despite best efforts, we will post on the town's website an audio or video recording, transcript, or other comprehensive record of the proceedings as soon as possible after the meeting. Okay. So usually, following the meeting posting, we would deal with reserve fund transfers. We don't have any. Then we're going to deal with the report of the Finance Committee mostly tonight, but there are a couple of things that need our votes on, and I see Jim is now here. Okay. And Mike isn't, so okay, so Jim's here.
Mike's here.
Mike's here?
Yeah.
Is he in the room?
No, he's in.
Oh, it's right in the middle. There he popped up. Okay, thank you.
Would that be where Greg or Carol was on the Brady Bunch?
Great. Okay, so Jeff, can I share my screen?
Sure, hold on.
All right, so I want to share this one.
So,
of course, you picked the wrong one. Nice. All right, I'll just move it over there.
Any good games? No?
Well, that's what I get when I use two monitors. All right, so this will come over here. All right, so we're going to be working with oh, I don't want to leave the meeting, no. All this stuff is in my way at the moment. Please stand by while I deal with the technical issues. Okay, so this is the, from the file I sent out late this afternoon. You should have one that's a combination of all the documents, but without the line item budget because somehow or another, Adobe had a failure when it tried to incorporate the line item budget. And the second one is a portfolio, which is just all of the documents gathered together in one file. So we're going to be working with the what I'm calling 05 ATM articles 513-21, 5-13-21. And so Article 1, good. 2, my understanding here is that the Community Preservation Committee actually has not voted on number 2 yet. Jeff and or Barbara, is that true?
That's what I heard from my husband, who is on the committee.
Barbara?
So I'm looking back to last year, and it doesn't look that like they actually, in past years, we don't even have their vote. So I think we can just remove that. It's just the article is recommended by the FinCom and the Selectmen.
Okay, because in the other ones, we have some of their votes, but I'm willing to, so you, all right, I'll get rid of it here. That'll be.
Yeah, Kevin, it was on their agenda for Monday because my husband's on it, and they said there were some minor changes to it, so they didn't vote on it. So I think it's too late.
Okay.
Well, was the minor change that they changed it to one of the articles to 20,000?
I assume so, yeah. I didn't really ask.
Right. Right, so, I mean, if that was the change, I had no way to know that until they did it. So I have since changed their report to reflect that, based on the fact that the selectmen had already said that if the CPC met, that they would adjust that article, so they'll do that on Monday.
Oh, this is interesting. I would have swore I changed this. All right. So this next one, Article 3, is supposed to be $20,000. I thought I changed this language. Let me go back here and get this and get it right.
It's
No,
Article
Article
5.
3 is 15,000. It's Article 5. Yeah.
Okay, great. So then 3 we're all set with. 4, this is now a page broken the wrong place since we took that out. So we'll fix that. All right, yeah, so here's the 5 to 20,000. Okay. So we had already voted this, and I believe we voted at 15. And they just updated it to 20, you know, so they had more funds. So I'm going to need a motion to reconsider our vote on Article 5.
So moved.
Kathy, okay. Do I have a second?
Second, Larry.
Barry, thank you. Any further discussion on reconsidering Article 5? All right, so I have to find my little spreadsheet here. Where to go? How do I get this go-to meeting out of the way? All right, so in alphabetical order, Joe?
I was on mute, but still yes. Thank you.
Okay. Mike?
I'm unmuted and saying yes.
Thank you. Joni?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kevin's a yes. And Jim? Jim? Hello, Jim?
Muted. Can you hear me
I can
yet?
hear you very, very faintly. Is anyone else here, Jim? You seem to have gone.
You're very, very low.
Yes,
Oh.
yes, if you can hear me.
All right, so I got that. That's a yes. Okay, so that's 7-0 in favor of reconsideration. So now we would go and actually vote Article 5 in the amount of $20,000. So, you know, to approve the article as written. Do I have someone to make that motion?
So move, Larry.
All right. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kathy? It's written. All right. Any discussion, comments, questions?
I just made a comment earlier that the box has to be changed. It still said 15.
Oh, gotcha.
Can you hear me?
No,
Okay.
the grant was for 15,000.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm reading it on another device, so I'm not reading it on this one. Okay. Yep.
So I guess I would say would be used in part as matching funds to the grant because the other 5,000 is going to be used for whatever. All right. So hearing no other questions or comments, we will move over to the roll call again. So Joe?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Joni?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kevin's a yes, and Jim?
Yes.
Okay, so that passes 7-0. So I can get rid of the yellow. Did the selectmen actually vote this?
No, they'll be voting on Monday.
All right, so I'm going to change their motion to recommendation to be provided at the town meeting.
Well, you're gonna have to be done with this before Tuesday morning?
I'm hoping it's at the printer by then, yes.
Well, why don't you just wait till first thing Tuesday morning for me to send you the votes and then you can send it on Tuesday? Will it matter?
No, no. But whatever I don't have the vote on, Barbara, though, I'm going to change it to that because I don't want to reflect that they took a vote and then have them say, no, we didn't, or we voted a different number.
Well, the intention is that they'll address everything on Monday. So if you can wait till Tuesday morning, I can get you their votes. We could probably send them to you Monday night because there's only 3 articles that they have to deal with, I believe.
I think and I agree with Barbara, there's going to be one on the tax rate relief that they may have some, changes to that's in this document.
And we cannot assume that there will be 5 members of the board present to vote.
Right. I'm gonna that one. If they change the article, then they're going to have to issue a substitute motion because if we're going to vote,
Kevin, you can't do that. Sorry to interrupt you, but it's the selectmen's articles, so you have to wait until they finalize the warrant.
Unfortunately, the general article, the general bylaws say they're supposed to have the finalized article to us way before this point in time. So we have, if I had my normal BT, this would have already been off to the printer and they would have been done anyways. I mean, there's a timeline here for this to get done and we just can't hang around waiting for them.
Well, the unfortunate thing about that one particular article, we were waiting on the federal government to provide us guidance on how to spend $2.8 million to cover a budget deficit. We just got that information a day ago.
Right.
And that was, integral to this warrant article. So in a perfect world, I would agree with you, but in a COVID world, everybody's got to give and take a little bit.
Well, when we get there, there's further discussion there too. All right, so 6 is good. 7 is fine. And then if everyone gets a chance to read the boxes too, if you pick something up, now's the time to ask, because I tried to change these things around a little bit. 8, 9, 10 is fine. 11's the line item budget. 12, 13. So Joni, this is the other part for the EDC guy right here.
Yep. So you want it added to the
line item budget.
Is it included in the summary as well?
It never used to be. It used to be just a note in the line item budget saying that the salary figure is augmented by funds from Article 14, adding $29,665 to whatever the budget is, whatever his number is in the line item budget, totaling the new total.
I'm okay with it, but I thought we updated that in the DPW salary. I thought we included that little blurb in the summary, but
it's not
I'm fine with it. Okay.
Betterment Committee, Capital Improvement, Ambulance Stabilization Fund. I believe that was one of the emails that came out this week. So everyone saw, I think it was what, $307,000?
Yes.
OPEB. No one's got me on an app. All right, tax rate relief. This is the one we were discussing 30 seconds ago before we got here. So you're saying that this isn't the final language and there's really nothing here that we can vote. Barbara, Jeff, right?
We put $450,000 in it. That's the amount that's in the article tonight.
Right, except it's not an official article, right? Because the Board of Selectmen have not opened the warrant and included this language.
So Jeff and I are going to recommend to the board for Monday night that they use $450,000. So that's the best we have for you to go on right now. Could they increase that number? Absolutely. Will we know before Monday night? No. So I would suggest that you vote this based on the 450,000. And then if they change it to a higher number, then I guess your recommendation would have to be that it would be on town meeting floor, because you're not going to meet again before you have to put the book to print. Or you just say to be provided on town meeting floor right now and go with it that way. But this is what we're going to recommend. So, I mean, it's up to you how you want to do it. But I think, as Jeff said, this isn't a perfect world right now because, again, we just got the guidance. It came on the 10th in the late afternoon. So, you know, and honestly, there's still a lot of stuff that we need to know about everything. So, you know, this last minute isn't necessarily, isn't our fault. We were hoping for guidance sooner, and it's just starting to trickle down to us.
So the 10th was Monday, right?
Monday night.
And what prevented the Board of Selectmen from meeting on the 11th or the 12th?
Well, they didn't, so I guess it's irrelevant at this point.
All right, so I got to go back and change this language because this isn't what we're voting. And we could make this our motion, but I need to go back and put the other language back in this because it's officially.
Or you can keep it the way you voted it last time that said a sum of money, and the night of town meeting we come up with a number.
No, that's not happening.
Well,
I'm not a big fan of leaving a sum of money.
Well, if we do give a recommendation at the town meeting, it would be, I think, wise to give a heads up at the earliest moment possible to the moderator, because the moderator does not, and he's very explicit about this, does not like Finance Committee recommendations at the town meeting. He wants them ahead of time. His reasoning, as he has put it, is you've had forever, why didn't you do it? So, if we have a special COVID circumstance, as long as he knows it early on, I think the whole thing would just go just the way everybody would want it to, full deliberation, and the townspeople would then have a sound recommendation, and then they'd vote however they vote.
Yeah, but officially, Larry, right now, this is not the article. I'm looking for the official language.
It was just to use a sum of money.
Right, so that's what needs to go back in the book.
No, you can't, forget Kevin. I think you have to wait until Tuesday morning to see what the selectmen do with this article. Because what's going to happen, if you change your book, what gets posted as the warrant is not going to be the same as what is in your book. So you have to just wait till Tuesday morning.
Kevin, this is Mike, and I agree with that. That while you keep talking about the official and the closed warrant, the articles to be submitted and considered as part of the warrant are closed. Somebody can't bring a new article for a new purpose, but the selectmen, the official warrant that gets voted at town meeting is what they will vote in the next meeting or so and gets posted prior to the meeting. So if they want to change the wording of any of these articles to add commas or change the number to match what they're bringing forward as the article that's being posted, they have the right to do that. And we just need to come in with, if it's 450, do you think they're going to vote on? We can do that. But it comes 452 or something else, and that's the number they put in there. We need to make a recommendation against, their final wording of the article. That's not coming until Monday night, from what Barbara and Jeff is saying.
So again, I think that if you are we are going to recommend 450,000. If you're okay with 450, vote it as that's the potential for this article, and then you have a vote and you're done, and you can put it in your book, and you're all good. If they come back with a higher number, then obviously you don't have time to meet again before you need to get your book to the printer. So then your recommendation would be that you would provide a recommendation at town meeting. And I think unfortunately for this article, that's what's going to have to happen. And I think Mike will understand that, because again, all this is still in transition. Would we prefer that everything was wrapped up 2 weeks ago? Of course we would. But that didn't happen. So I think you can have two contingency plans, and either one or the other will happen. And then we just go from there. Because we could debate this all night, and it's not getting us anywhere.
So, if we were to vote the 450, or the article as written, Kevin, and then the Board of Selectmen come in and make some, say they changed it, they would have to have a substitute motion at the floor, correct?
This is what I would do. At this point in time, this would be our motion, and whatever they change the language to, we can adjust if we want to, but this is the best we can do at this point in time.
But again, Kevin, on Tuesday morning, if I tell you that they voted 450,000, then all you have to say is to change it to approve the article as written.
And I don't disagree with you then, Barbara, 100% there. But right now, this is what gets us to where you want to be.
Right, but if the selectmen aren't going to lower the number. If anything, they're either going to agree with the number or they're going to go higher. So, again, I don't know that if they go to 500, we want to have dueling motions on town meeting floor for $50,000. Maybe you do. I don't know.
No, I would do whatever they want to do with it. We have to have something official, and we don't. And the only language we have officially is the use of sum of money. So here, we're going to specify that sum of money. But you can't argue the fact that officially the article, the way it reads right now, says for a sum of money.
Correct. Which they are going to change they will change it on Monday night, and there will be a sum of money in that article after Monday's meeting.
Right, so if they do 450, then we just change our motion to the town vote to approve the article as written. If they change some other thing, this is going to be our motion, and we can change it at that meeting before the annual.
That's fine, yep, that's fine, yep.
But if they change it to something else, you need to change the top part of that to reflect the dollar amount that they're going to vote.
Right, and that's what Barbara will have to give me on Tuesday.
Okay.
Correct, yep.
So are we voting as written then?
No, we're going to vote the motion you see I just wrote there, that the town vote to authorize the Board of Assessors to use $450,000, because we don't know what the number is yet officially. We know what Jeff and Barbara are recommending, but we don't have the Board of Selectmen's number at all. Now, so we're using the $893,000 and change from the federal funds to cover the budget shortfall. What are we doing with the other $1.89 million?
Well, the money's good for 2 years.
Right.
So we haven't had a chance to really evaluate what to do with the other money. We would expect that the 2023 budget would still see COVID-related revenue losses. So a portion of that will be applied to the 2023 budget, but there are 7 to 8 categories of potential uses for these funds, which we will have to evaluate, including direct business support, public health support, all kinds of different things, but we have to keep our eye on the budgetary issues to get us through 2022 and 2023. And the money does not have to be formally appropriated into a budget. It's available for use. At least that's what we heard so far. And the legislation that passed it stated that the states could not make the use of the funds more restrictive than the final rule developed by Treasury.
Developed by, that's U.S. Treasury Department. Okay.
Yes.
Kevin, sometimes it doesn't hurt to ask a what-if question. And with the background in this instance that the moderator has time and again said that he doesn't want motions to go up in the amount of money because it gets posted, somebody says, well, I can live with X amount, and doesn't participate, doesn't go to the meeting. Turns out it's actually somewhat more, and that individual says, wait a minute, you're not playing straight with me. So,
right.
In this instance, if it is a sum of money, then whatever it is, it is. And we wouldn't be in the situation of quoting a figure in advance of a decision, which decision could be more and not 452. What if it's 552? I can't, obviously, none of us can speak for the moderator, but I can imagine, given his general principle on this, that he'd say, all right, for $2,000 out of 450, I can look the other way, but for 100,000 I cannot, and we do not know what the board will do. A sum of money, however, covers whatever it is.
Right, but it also leaves it open for anybody in the town meeting floor to get up and offer a substitute motion that says, I want to use all of our available free cash.
Well, a substitute motion,
unspecified.
A substitute motion is always in order. That's
no. See, a substitute motion, like you just said, could not exceed the number we would recommend.
Well, but the motion
if we
itself,
just said a sum of money, that means anything up to what we can afford.
Your point. I do understand your point, and it's not a bad point at all. I'm just saying that a substitute motion per se can be in order. It's what the content of it is that could, in the eyes of the moderator, put him in the position of denying a citizen's vote, a citizen's motion. That's his problem, not ours.
But what's going to change here, Larry, possibly, is actually this language in yellow, because what Jeff and Barbara are saying is the selectmen may decide to go with a higher number.
Yeah.
And we can vote on that Monday night to support the selectmen's number. But right now, what this official language in this article says is just a sum of money.
Well, how about this? We vote a figure not to exceed, and that figure is whatever we decide. If we decide to do it, it might be 500, it might be 455, it might be whatever, but if we put in a not to exceed number, that does give the selectmen at least some elbow room.
Well, actually, they have, if I could find the general bylaws and look them up quickly, but according to what I'm hearing, they're basically saying they have the elbow room they need right now.
I don't know
I'm
any
not
of that. All I
100%
know
sure
is that we're trying to get these done and published. We came up with a number. And it's my problem because I really don't understand the process, and we're getting hung up in process. And I understand that it's important, but this is COVID. This is not normal. Everybody's got to kind of take some stuff on the fly, and that's what we're doing at this point. So,
I think what we're doing is accommodating.
We're offering up 450. I don't understand the whole thing here, but 450.
Yeah, so Kevin, this is Mike, just to tie in Larry's concern. The part up top in yellow, that's, the selectmen own that. They can make that any number they want on Monday night. If you want to vote R450, regardless of what number they put in there, the motion before town meeting would be ours at 450.
Unless we vote.
Unless we re-vote it prior to town meeting and bring something in it. Now, if the selectmen put in 450 and somebody decides, and that's what gets posted to the warrant, and somebody wants a number higher than 450, Larry's right. The moderator typically doesn't allow the number to go higher than what was in that top article there.
Right.
But they own that top piece.
Yeah, yes, I would agree with you in most cases, they do. So what we're
spending a lot of time on process. My question is, you want to vote the 450 because that's the number that's being recommended. Somebody help me understand, what 450 is. Is it shortening a deficit? Is it taxes? What's the difference between 450 and 650 or 250 here? In terms of, overall impact of finances and the budget situation. To me, it's just a number that's being recommended, but I'm not hearing what the impact of that is and what the impact of an alternate number would be.
In an email we got earlier this week, right, they're using the federal funds that we've received, the 2.8 million that can be used over 2 fiscal years. They're using the $893,000 in change. That's our budget shortfall, is going to be covered by those funds. In this, 450,000 is going to go directly against lowering the tax rate.
So just if I could, so free cash was certified at 4.3 million. After all of the articles that are funded through free cash on both the annual and the special town meeting, and with the $450,000 recommendation that we'll be making to the board on Monday, the balance remaining in free cash would be $2,973,717,000. Now, what you have to keep in mind by that is, while that might still seem to be a big number, we know that our revenues are down this year because of COVID. So we do not want to deplete all of our free cash, because we're going to need it for next year, as Jeff said, if we're not able to have a large amount of money that goes back in. So that's kind of what we're looking at, and we're looking at that this is not just, fiscal 22 budget and we're out of, the effects of COVID. We believe that we're going to also see effects into fiscal 23, so we have to keep that in mind.
Right.
And if I could ask, $450,000, how much do we reduce tax rate by? My guess is not a meaningful, noticeable amount. And, along the lines of what you're indicating there, better not to spend down that free cash and use too much. So if somebody comes back and says, well, let's make it $800,000 because that drives taxes down lower, maybe, but it may not be a material reduction in taxes. But it is certainly a material reduction in free cash and ability to fund next year's liabilities.
Yes. What you're saying is true. That's why this is the official language we're actually voting on, right? To use a sum of money. Because that's what the article truly reads at this point. But this is the recommendation that they want to have the Board of Selectmen put in as their warrant article language on Monday night. So what we're doing is protecting ourselves in the town from having our free cash rated by a substitute motion by saying this is our recommendation and we're going to limit to 450,000. Now we can adjust it if, like you said earlier, if the selectmen come back and want to make this $540,000, we can meet on that Monday night, reconsider this and go to 540. But we don't know what they're going to do. We have no idea. So we have to act in our, in our best role as a fiduciary here to protect, and make our recommendation to the town meeting voters. So I would go with the motion I have written, and then we can adjust it accordingly.
Okay, this is Mike. I'm on board with that approach. And if you want, I'll make a motion that the finance committee, recommend the, the wording that you're showing on the screen for our recommendation.
Okay.
That we approve $450,000, authorize the assessors to use $450,000 to offset, for free cash to offset the tax rate.
Okay, thank you, Mike. Do I have a second?
I'll second, Larry.
Any further questions, comments? And if it comes in on Monday night or Tuesday when Barbara gets me what the selectmen actually do and it's the same amount of money, we'll just change it to the town vote to approve the article as written. By the same vote we take for this.
And Kevin, what happens if they come in at 500?
If they come in at 500, our recommendation will still be 450, and we'll have to meet before the town meeting and change it if we're so inclined.
Okay, so there's a potential for us to need to call a quick meeting for early next week if it's different.
It would
otherwise there'd be a disjoint.
I mean, we would really try to meet the night of June 7th, the night of the annual town meeting prior to the actual town meeting.
But then the book would say Finance Committee 450 and the Board of Selectmen 500.
Yes.
Yep.
Is there the opportunity for us to call a brief meeting on Tuesday morning, or can you do it through email if it is indeed different?
No, we'd have to have a public meeting. I mean, I could schedule a meeting for Tuesday night. I mean, do you have an open slot on Tuesday night?
No. Early.
Do you know what time in the meeting on Monday night the Board of Selectmen are taking this up?
Early. It's one of the it's earlier on the agenda. It's up front.
Well, I mean, I don't actually. Is that going to be like 6:35?
Depends on, I don't have it timed that closely, but it's like introductory public service announcements. There's a public hearing on a license, and then the warrants. So I would imagine it's going to be up before 7 p.m.
So Kevin, this is Mike. Well, I agree. It's cleaner to have, the final number that the selectmen picked to assume that it's different than 450. In our vote, if we want to align with what they're coming up with, I'm not so sure that we want to align that they want to come up with. If it's 452, yeah. If it's 800 because they want to throw off more, I don't know that I would go there. So we've been able to work through these little differences given the timing in the past. I don't see that it's going to be a big issue come the night of town meeting.
Okay. Because what I was thinking is trying to schedule some type of joint meeting on Monday night, but I don't know how that would work, where we could both take votes.
All right.
But that assumes we're both going to agree. If there's a red gap in the numbers we want to use and we have disagreement, then, then the process gets dragged down Monday night because of the difference of opinion and discussions.
So, Mr. Chair, you can call a meeting for 6:30, meet jointly with the board, and then when they finish their work on the warrants, which is minimal, your group, and I'll let the chair know, you're just going to take a quick vote on whatever they did or didn't do.
Though, Jeff, I'm just thinking of the timing. Actually, we can't because we won't meet the 48 hours of posting requirement for the meeting. right? Because you can't include the weekend. So that takes care of that.
You can't include Saturday? I'd have to look that up. No, you can't?
No?
All right, so you're just gonna have to vote 450.
Yep. All right, so I have a first and second. Any other comments, questions? Okay, so then going in alphabetical order. Joe?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Joni?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kevin is a yes. And Jim?
Yes.
Okay. 7-0. Oops, I always put the space. To nothing. All right. And we'll get the rest of this language Tuesday morning. Okay. So what else we got here? Evaluation, revolving funds.
The next one that was changed was Article 32, the Farquhar Road easement. We added some language and the attorney made some adjustments to it.
Yeah, okay, I tried to copy that in here. So let's go to 32. So there's this whole new paragraph at the beginning. And I'm not sure, Kathy, if this actually handled your question about saying, what book at the Registry of Deeds in Worcester County, but you're the attorney.
At the end of the legal description, there's a sentence that says those maps live. Where is it? Keep going.
Oh, to be recorded. I see, to be recorded at the Registry District of Deeds.
Yeah, there you go. Worcester Registry of Deeds.
All right. So this is
Did you shrink your screen?
me?
Yeah, it looks like you got smaller all of a sudden. All right, I'll get on my end.
All right. So, I did get smaller. I'm sorry. I did shrink it for a second. So, I highlighted this in yellow just to make sure we noted that we vote on this. So no color. All right, so then do I have a motion, vote Article 32 is written?
This is Mike. I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mike. Do I have a second?
Second.
Kathy.
It's always nice to have council look at this, because now this looks and reads like a true easement and land-related article. So this is a great improvement.
Okay. So any other questions, comments related to Article 32? All right, then we'll do the roll call. All right, Joe.
Yes.
Mike.
Yes.
Joni.
Yes.
Larry.
Yes.
Kathy.
Yes.
Kevin's a yes, and Jim.
Yes.
All righty. Now, have the selectmen voted this officially? Jeff, Barbara?
They'll go back to that on Monday.
So I'm going to highlight that.
Yeah, we know that they need to do that, yeah.
Because I'd hate to have it say voted 5-0 and they voted 3-2 or something like that.
Well, they
Well,
voted.
4-0 because somebody was missing.
They've already voted this, several times. Every time it gets tweaked, they re-vote it. So they're all in support of the project. They understand what it does.
Yeah, I guess the question though is, how many of them are going to be there that night? I mean, in reality, this is a courtesy, but still, I mean, I would hate to be called out on the town meeting floor saying, hey, you're telling the voters we voted 5-0, but we actually voted 4-1 or whatever.
And I'm
That's
gonna
not
say,
what
the
we
town
want.
administrator, it's my fault, I did it.
Hey,
Okay.
Kevin,
Yep.
could you go, something looks weird in that first paragraph under Article 32. About 3/4 of the way down, it says, by the town is a public way, and then 22 family trust. What does that mean? Seems something's out of order.
Oh. Wait, hang on. Let me see the language. Maybe there's a cut and paste error here. Thank you for catching that.
I was just seeing if it's that way on that computer screen, but it is. I don't know if something just got mixed up.
On mine, it says
me
owner
just
of the
check.
Latali Family Trust in town of Sturbridge.
I just have to find the warrants for tonight. It's STM, ATM. This is part of the things of going between PDF and the Word document. Sometimes they don't go cleanly. Sorry for the nausea for any of you watching on close up.
Kathy, I see what you're saying. It says the Latoy, and it should say something beyond that, and then it says summary, the owner is, so the end of that sentence, where it says the Latoy, for some reason, got clipped out. Is that what you're saying, Kathy?
Yeah, I think it's just some sort of translation.
Might say the Latoy Family Trust or something?
This is the language that was sent from Barbara this afternoon. So if I take that and go back to our,
It's B.
Hang on.
Or-
there's the surveyor's description. So if I go back to this, and let's just make it easier,
Ooh, now I can't see it
put it
at all.
right here. Where did you see that mistake in the first one?
It's-
Where did
It
it,
says
what the hell happened?
The owner has completed the necessary improvements to the road for acceptance by the town as a public way. Then it just goes to 22 Family Trust in the town of Sturbridge. So there's something off there. That's where it is.
Yeah, I have to go back. Something's off here,
I
period.
can see it there now, too.
Yeah, so can you just go back to the original one that they sent you and make it a little bit bigger, so maybe we can read it?
Where's that summary coming from? Oops, that's too big.
All my proofreading was for naught.
Where the hell did the summary come from?
And it says it's part of
I
the,
need to move this out of the way. Go ahead. No, that's the language there. I don't have a clue where that summary's coming from. This needs to go.
right, so from the word summary through the numeral 22, I think needs to come out of what you sent around to us.
I wonder if it's supposed to be owner, the Latai, whatever, 22 Family Trust.
Well,
That what it's supposed to be?
Oh, you know what happened? You know what the 22 is? That's the page number from the previous document.
Oh, geez.
Because of the fact that it was sent to me as a PDF and not a Word document.
Oh.
That's the way it needs to be to read.
But the sentence that says Latoy Family Trust ends after the last name Latoy, and then something's left out, and it goes right to the,
No.
to the word
Read
summary.
on the screen.
So you got it right now, that's good.
I understand what happened. It's the technical cross-pollination between Adobe and Microsoft.
Thanks.
So it should be corrected now.
Okay, yeah, it looks good on the screen, which I can barely see. But.
It's different from the one you sent us, that's for sure, because I'm looking at that one on another screen.
Well, the one I sent you, I just copied from is this one here. So, I mean, it's hard to put these side by side on the same screen. mean, it looks pretty close. You know, yeah, no, yeah, I mean, the one I sent you earlier, Jim, has the error in it of my going from Adobe to Word.
Right, I see that, Kevin. And I'm trying to read the new one, but it changes so fast on the screen that I can't follow it.
I'll leave it there. Oh, this thing's just killing me.
You remind me where we are, Kevin. Do you have a motion and second on this one, subject to final proofreading going on?
No, I do not. Would you like to? Oh, wait, I do. You and Kathy.
Yeah, I thought you
approved
did.
it. And then we walk down into this. This goes all the way to the D. Are you okay, Jim?
Yes, all set now, yeah.
All right, then. So I have a first or a second to accept the article as written, early written. Oh, wait, you know what? We didn't already vote this, right? This was still posting. I don't need to reconsider this. Anyone know?
We didn't finish the vote. I think Kathy interrupted the vote by asking that question, didn't you, Kathy?
No, I have. We voted it 8-0.
No, I thought we didn't vote. Oh, no, we did vote. I'm voting.
Yeah.
Yes, we did
So
vote,
actually-
and then I brought this up because I think I started to read it more thoroughly.
Okay, well, it can't be 8, there's only 7 of us here.
No, there was 8 today. We voted it. We voted it at the last meeting, 8-0.
But I think we also already
I
voted
see
it
what you're saying.
tonight.
So now
So,
we have to, yeah, okay.
yeah, we have to reconsider it first.
All right, so this is Mike. I'll make the motion that we reconsider Article 32.
Okay.
This is Jim, I'll second that.
All right. MH and Jim. Any further questions on reconsideration? So now we'll do that in order once I can get this back up. Joe?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Joni?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kevin's a yes, and Jim.
Yes,
All right, so 7-0 in favor of reconsideration. And Mike and Kathy, if you're still good with your motion, I'll just keep that as approval as written now.
That's good.
Yeah, that's
All
fine.
right. Any further questions on the article in the motion to approve it as written? All righty, Joe,
Yes.
Mike,
Yes.
Joni,
Yes.
Larry,
Yes.
Kathy,
Yes.
Kevin is a yes, and Jim.
yes,
All right, so it's 7-0 in favor to approve it as written. All right, I didn't know if there was anything else in here as far as people moving through and seeing something that should be adjusted. I mean, I tried to page break this as best I could too. All right, well, I guess we'll live with it and we'll see what happens come Tuesday. All right, let's save this.
Kevin, you want to send it over to me and I can page break it?
I already did that. I already have it all page broken. The one I haven't done anything with yet is the line item budget.
Oh, I've just sent it to you.
Oh, okay, great. All right, so now I need to find the special town meeting articles. Please stand by. This thing just takes up space. All right, back to the report. Special town meeting article. So we actually need to go back and this number We voted in our last meeting a little bit higher, and that bill has since been rescinded. And so the last time we voted this 7-0, it was $1,109.30. Well, right now it really is $1,024.30. So we need, on the special town meeting warrant, to reconsider Article 46.
I'll make the motion to reconsider Article 46.
Thank you, Joni. Do I have
I'll second that.
Jim? Any further questions or comments related to reconsideration? Okay, roll call. Joe?
Yes.
Okay. Mike?
Yes.
Joni?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kevin is a yes, and Jim?
Yes.
All right, so it's 7-0 for reconsideration. All right, so that's our motion right there to town vote to transfer $1,024.30 from free cash to pay unpaid bills of a previous year. So do I have someone who wants to make that motion?
This is Mike, I'll make the motion.
Okay.
I'll second Joni's motion.
I thought it was Mike and Joe is what I heard.
Whoever.
Okay. Any further questions or comments?
Hey, this is Mike. Just in a summary box, I would just, where we say we typically receive them after, we got a $30 million budget and we got $1,000 we have to take care of. So I don't know that this is typical. I would have deleted the period through the word bills and just added, say, this article seeks to fund bills of a prior fiscal year received after the close of the fiscal year.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Everyone all right with that change in the language?
Yeah, sure.
Sorry, can you just read it again real quick? Sorry.
So it's going to become this.
I can't see the box.
Oh, okay, so if we're going to do it,
I guess I'm fine with it. It's fine. But you don't have to vote on that. You just have to change it, right?
right, that's what I'm doing.
So how's it gonna read?
Right here. Does that work?
Works for me.
All
Well,
right.
there is this, the Article A previous year. Well, that could be any previous year. Shouldn't it be the previous year?
Sure, that's true.
Technically, it should be a previous year.
Really?
It should be up.
Yeah. Because it doesn't mean all the time that it's the year before. We hope it is, but
You're
I
talking like,
can't tell. What?
are you talking this
I
language?
can't tell you right now if that bill is from last fiscal year or not. So it's a previous year.
Okay. All right, so I have a first and a second. Any other questions or comments? All righty, so going here. Joe?
Yes.
Mike?
Yes.
Joni?
Yes.
Larry?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Kevin's a yes, and Jim?
Yes.
Okay, so that's 7-0 in favor of the article as written. Well, in $1,032, I'm sorry. Motion. All right. Where was the no action article? This one here.
Article 49.
So I'm curious here. I mean, if I'm a townsperson, I wasn't at this meeting. I mean, can you give me some examples? I mean, we're doing no action because who provided only general idea? And who didn't have specifics?
Yeah, and I think it was, and some of the other ones who voted no, the concern was that, didn't feel like additional trail was needed at this time, or that the,
So this needs to be rewritten to be more specific to what the actual rationale was. It doesn't tell me anything. Someone who was there, do you want to give some language? All right, I'll go back and I'll try and watch that part of the meeting and try and come up with something.
I'll try to come up with something. I don't know if I can do it in a couple minutes on the fly here, but I'll give it some thought, and if I got some ideas, I'll shoot them over to you as well.
All right, great, thank you.
I'll do likewise.
Okay. Let's see. Going back to the agenda. Line item budget. I mean, we'll just take a quick look at what Joni just sent because it does contain one change to it. Where would that be, Kevin? In the email? Cool.
You have both the Excel and the PDF, whatever's easier, Kev.
Yeah. Let's see, 1, this is 4, 3 or 4. Where am I saving it? Not where I want to be. Where is town of Sturbridge? Oh, FinCom. There we go. I'm just going to put final. All right. Did a page break into a nightmare, Joni?
No, it should be, it was okay to page break.
All right. So just to highlight the changes.
Can you just go make sure I've got, yeah, please make sure I've got the right math there. I'm pretty sure I do, but.
Warrant in the warrant articles about the water and the sewer totaling an additional 28,000 for a combined, yeah. That's exactly what we're looking for. So if it's 28,000, that's, yeah, okay. That seems to total up great. Which way do I go for the EDC guy?
He's above, yeah, he's just a little above. There you go.
Great. Perfect.
And Barbara, I did find that $1,000. It was just a formula error.
Okay, great. Thank you.
All right, so the other thing I guess people should have got a chance to look at is the actual report of the Finance Committee, which Jim kindly took under his wing and developed. And did anyone have any questions, comments related to anything written in here?
I thought it was well done.
This, Jim, the one thing right here, this spacing is a little awkward. Should that, worth noting, come up to that point?
Which spacing are you talking about, Kevin?
Right here, general government salaries increases of 3.9%. Did this, worth noting in this regard, move to right here, or is it a separate paragraph?
Yes, I think worth noting in this regard should start right after the 3.9%. It is part of the same, yes.
Okay.
That was intended.
Okay. And the other thing I did that Larry pointed out before is I took Jared Burns' name out of here and I put in Joe's.
I screwed that up.
Okay. So if you guys can take a look at what I sent, if you come across anything else and you have corrections, please send them along. All right, so otherwise I'm good. We'll just have to wait now to see what happens on Tuesday in relationship to that one article. Is that the only one you expect them to change the language of?
There is one thing, Kevin, in the titles. There is no business manager. Tantascwa. I think it's associate superintendent for business.
All right, let me go back to that. Thank you.
And then I think there's an assistant superintendent, by the way, for curriculum. But in any event, Deb is associate superintendent for business.
And I just took that directly out of the previous report, so I didn't bother to.
So like that?
Yeah, without the word manager, right? Yep.
Her title is Associate Superintendent of Business and Finance.
Oh, very well. Good.
I just looked it up.
Well, technically, you're superintendent now. Your title is superintendent now, right?
No, not until
No, not
the end of the year, or January 1st, maybe.
You know, sometimes one word can make a difference. Barbara, you looked it up, which is good. And the word of is there, not the word for?
Yes, Associate Superintendent of Business and Finance.
Okay, then her superintendency as an associate is confined to business and finance. If it was the word for, she would be district-wide the associate superintendent.
Okay.
But if it's of, that's what it is.
All right, so I go through, try and repaginate. Roughly, we're around 80 pages right now, which is a real low number for us, which is great. So, you know, I work with 80 and 82. I still don't have a printer because I needed to get the page count number since we're going to end up with a new person. And I'm going to try that Colonial print first. And I'm hoping, you know, at worst case scenario, that the actual printed book will be available by the annual town meeting on June 7th. But obviously, the electronic version will be available before then.
And Kevin, if you were to page down to warrant articles, parenthetically, it says budget next to that. It specifically references Article 19, $450,000. So, you know, if there's going to be a change, is it going to be necessary to adjust that, or?
Yeah. So, I mean, that's what our recommendation is, but
Yeah.
I guess we can leave it like that for now, because that's what our recommendation really is.
Yeah, okay.
This one's a little... Okay. It's amazing how many times you can look at this and see new things. All right, anyone else have any other questions or comments? Because this has been a very different year than normal. All right. All right. Uh-oh. I'm trying to figure out how to stop sharing my screen, but...
Just turn off your screen button down on the bottom. See the 4 circles at the bottom?
No.
It's next to the leave, the red X.
I'll take care of it.
Oh, I see it now. I got you. I hit it all. Oh, there we go. Okay. Cool.
There you go.
All right. I think that's everything because we don't have any meeting minutes to discuss. Do you have any new business anyone wants to bring up? Okay. Old business? Public access.
Good evening. Is there anyone that would like to address the Finance Committee? Is there anyone on the public line that would like to address the Finance Committee? There's no one on the line.
Okay, thank you. So then I would entertain a motion for adjournment, and we'll keep everyone, anything that has to do with the report that doesn't deal with a vote, we don't have to do in a public meeting because it's just us wordsmithing. So just like I said, send comments. But other than that, I'll try and schedule a meeting the night of the ATM, prior to the ATM. And if something happens where we need more substantive discussions, I'll even try to schedule something prior to that, maybe the Thursday beforehand, because it's very, very, at least I find it very, very difficult to have a meeting the night of the town meeting because there's lots of activity. People are catching up with people they haven't seen in a while. And so not everyone's strictly paying attention to what business needs to get done. So we'll see where we end up.
So Kevin, we're not meeting next week then?
No, not that I plan.
I'm okay with that. I just want to make sure, like, how are you doing with the, I'm sorry, I hear feedback.
Yeah.
How are you, do you need any additional help with that book?
Probably, and I'll reach out and ask.
Yeah, I mean, let me know, because I know it's a hefty thing to do, and I know that it's a tight time frame, so.
Yeah.
Let me know. I'm not
No, thank you, Jim. I'll probably, you know what I'll do is, where I really need to help, if you want to, is the index. Because now we have a rough idea where all the pages are. We can actually put in the page numbers.
Okay, so then the index, oh, I love that index. So who has the file? So
I can send you all of them. I have them all.
Oh, okay. If you send me the index, I'll take a snap at it.
Okay, great. Thank you, Joni.
Yep.
All right, then. So do I have someone making a motion for adjournment?
Just before that, I just want to acknowledge that as meetings go, Joni is running out of them because she'll be leaving the town right after the annual town meeting. So I was the lucky one over the years to sit at your left hand, and I'm going to miss you. For you yourself,
I will miss you too.
for you yourself as well as for your role on the committee. And Joni, thank you.
Really,
You are so
thank you.
welcome.
Well said.
Okay. So while Joni sits there and tries not to look too red, someone needs to bring a motion to adjourn.
If, this is Mike, I was going to let Joni make it, but I'll be happy to make the motion to adjourn.
Okay.
How about if I second it?
There you go, 30 seconds. All right, of course I got rid of my roll call, so I'm gonna have to do this from memory. Joe?
Yes.
Mike, yes.
Thank you.
Joni, yes.
Larry, yes.
You guys got this
Kathy,
better than I
yes.
do. Okay, so far so good. So Kevin must be a yes, and then we, yeah.
Thank you, Joni, yes.
You're welcome.
All right, so we have a motion at 7-0 to adjourn at 7:46. Thank you, everyone, and Joni, I'll try and get you some information ASAP, because I appreciate the help.
Yeah, no problem. Okay, bye, everyone.
Good night.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Night.
Good night. And Jeff and Barbara.